Welcome back to the Black Sheep channel, everybody. I am Black Sheep, your host. Today's video is something I've seen on the web a lot, people discussing the difference between two shotguns, the Remington 870 and the Mossberg 500 series. As I know, there's a Mossberg 500, Mossberg 590. So this video is to approach the differences between the two of them a little bit more angled towards the new gun owner, because I've been seeing the new gun owners coming into the gun store in droves lately. And a lot of people are aiming their things towards new gun owners, so this is what this video is about. And you experienced gun owners out there, you've got in on the debate between the Remington 870 and the Mossberg 500. Feel free to watch the whole video and correct me if I make any mistakes, because I know you guys are out there. And by the way, if you haven't been by the channel before, hit subscribe. I'm a small channel. I'm not sponsored, so I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't have any commercials. You don't have to wait through any of that blah, blah, blah. No commercials. And I try and give fair reviews on guns and prepping gear and survival gear. That's pretty much it. So hit the like button too and comment. I read all your comments. So anyway, on to the topic today. Differences between the Remington 870, Mossberg 500, angled at you, the new firearm owner. I've seen a lot of coming into the gun shop looking for self-defense firearms primarily for your first firearm. A lot of people have been looking for shotguns. Our store's been out of shotguns, at least tactical shotguns, for weeks, so we haven't had any. But let's say you're out there looking for a home defense shotgun, and you come across a Mossberg or you come across a Remington 870, and maybe you come across both if you're lucky enough shopping in the right place, and you want to know which one should I buy, which one would be right for me. You guys are new owners. The shotgun can be an excellent self-defense firearm for the home. I've got two here. I have a Remington 870 in the TAC 14 version. Okay, so this is based on a Remington 870. The only difference is it's got the fancy bird head grip, a little bit shorter barrel, blah blah blah. We should be familiar with this firearm. It's just a shortened version of the venerable Remington 870. They've produced over 10 million of them. Many law enforcement and military contracts with that rifle or shotgun as well. This one's got the Magpul furniture on it and a few extras put on it as well that are not stock. The side saddle is on here, the strap is on here, as is the magazine extension, giving me a 5-round tube in this one. Now let's get right into one of the differences between a Mossberg and a Remington. This slide is locked, okay folks? This is empty, the gun is empty obviously, or I wouldn't be making the video. If you want to open the action on a Remington, the release right here for the slide is right here. You got to kind of change your finger position. I cannot reach it from a firing position. I have to move my hand forward and push down here, and that will release the action. So you can see I'm empty. Okay, nothing in there, but this is in a different position on the Mossberg. Let me grab the Mossberg and show you. On the Mossberg, same situation. We have an empty shotgun here, but the slide has been racked and it's locked in position. Okay, so it doesn't slide around. Right here, if I slide my shooting hand back a little bit and push down with my finger, that is doing it awkward here. Push that down, that's your release on the Mossberg, okay? So that is back here is your release on the Mossberg, where it's up here on the Remington. That's to release your slide. The other difference, the obvious difference, is the safety position. Back to the Remington. The Remington safety is down here on the trigger, where you can see that. It's right behind the trigger. It is in safe position now, and I push it with my trigger finger to put it in fire, just like that. This would be safe. That would be fire. Okay? So a lot of firearms are equipped with a safety on the trigger guard somewhere. Okay, so that's a familiar position, and for a lot of people, moving the safety to fire with your trigger finger is an easy thing to do. Thumb to put it in safe, finger to put it in fire. Okay, that's the Remington 870. The Mossberg. The Mossberg 500 I have here. The safety is tang mounted. This is what they call a tang, and this is where your safety is located, on the tang. So with your thumb in a firing position, I can activate the safety without moving my hand pretty much. I'm moving my thumb a little bit out of the firing position, forward to get you the red dot for fire, back for safe, okay? So tang mounted for the Mossberg 500, and then trigger mounted safety on the Remington, okay? One more thing that's a big difference is the receiver. You've heard people talk about steel versus alloy. This Remington 870, even though this is a much shorter package, looks a lot more compact than the Mossberg, this definitely weighs more than that Mossberg. I don't have a scale handy, but it's got to be a couple pounds extra. It feels beefier. This thing, you can tell this is a steel receiver, not alloy. You can tell. You can really feel it in the TAC 14 too, because you got this short bird's head grip and you're picking up the weight right there. So weight difference in the receiver, where this is an alloy, this is a lot lighter. This is an alloy receiver, okay? In this case, while we're on this subject of receivers, my Mossberg 500 here has a drilled and tapped receiver. If I want to put a scope on there or mount something on here, that's what that means. I can take that, these little holes have already been drilled, and I can mount something up here. My Remington does not have that. My Remington is not drilled and tapped. Some models will vary depending on which model you get. Now, let me touch on something. If you've watched this far, awesome. You guys get something bonus that I haven't seen in any other videos. I watched a bunch of videos, so I knew what I was talking about, obviously, and didn't miss any subject on the differences between the 870 and the Mossberg 500. One thing I noticed, I haven't seen any other video. Let me put it to you this way. Okay, right now, this has got the side saddle on here, but this weapon is empty, right? Okay, oh, I forgot about the magazine tube. On the Remington right here, we have this flap, a spring-loaded flap in your way for loading shells, okay? On the Mossberg, there's no flap, okay? So it's a little bit easier to load shells. No flap in your way. On that note, once I load that Remington up, once that magazine is loaded, the only way to get the shells out of this magazine tube is to rack the firearm. I have to go like this, the shell would eject, go like this again, the shell would eject, go like this again, the shell would eject, go like this again, the shell would eject until I get all 5 shells out of my magazine tube, okay? I'm pointing the firearm in a safe position, unless you're my upstairs neighbor when I'm doing that, right? Obviously, I don't want to have any discharges, but in order to empty the magazine on any Remington 870, that's what you have to do. You have to rack them through, and usually there's no negligent discharges when that happens. The Mossberg, however, I don't necessarily have to do that. Remember, there's no flap here. If I look in here, and I wish I could show you guys, let me grab my light. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you look in here, there's a tab right here on the side of the magazine wall. Probably not going to be able to see it real well that way. Right in here, I can feel a little spring-loaded tab. If I push my finger up against that, it'll push that spring tab away, and if I had shells in there, they shoot right out. So in other words, I can unload. I can unload the magazine tube of a Mossberg 500 with just pushing this tab in. I'm not going to load it on camera, or I'll probably get in trouble with the YouTube police, right? But instead of having to do this to empty all the shells out of my Mossberg, I can just hit this tab and they'll start shooting out of here. I don't have to put them in the chamber, okay? So there's a lot less chance of a negligent discharge if I don't have to put them back in the chamber to unload the magazine. I think that is all the differences basically between a Remington 870 and a Mossberg 500. No? Did I miss something? No? All right. My camera lady, my wife, she was saying I might have missed something, but I think I got the differences down between the 500, Mossberg 500, and the Remington 870. If you have any questions, put them down there in the comments below. I read all your comments. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. Hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, help me with the algorithm. Like I said, we're not sponsored, we're not floated around. I'm trying to get good information out there for folks in survival prepping, gear reviews, and my love, firearm reviews. So, next time on the Black Sheep channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks.